Harvard Divinity School.
100 Years Rudolf Steiner, December 15th and 16th, 2025.
Welcome, everyone, to From Conflict to Connection, social healing through Waldorf-Inspired practices and principles with Eyal Bloch and Thom Schaefer. I want to take you back to the beginning, where we began under a blazing Greek sun in the ancient stadium of Delphi. Here, for a quiet, suspended moment, there was a very special addition. From the far distance of the stadium came a small group of Zulu runners, blind, from South Africa, running from the ancient site of Olympia to this stadium at Delphi, 240 kilometers. Around them, on stone terraces of the stadium, sat 350 people, about 250 fifth grade children from communities in conflict, together with their teachers and youth leaders. They rose to their feet. A thunderous welcome erupted, not a quiet, polite applause. It was a wave of recognition that swept through the crowd and lifted everyone present. Up to that moment, many of the children had lived in societies that were defined by what they lacked, what was missing in their sense, what was different about their body, what was wrong about their nationality, what was the enemy's religion. They were the embodiment of that. As the blind Zulu runners crossed the stadium, that logic cracked. How were these people who might be called disabled, yet in this place, at this time, through their deeds, they were heroes to the assembled crowd? The children watched as supposed weakness turned visibly into strength, as limitation became a source of inspiration.
How this come about is a question of transformation. So, and in order to do transformation, we need a guiding question. So let's take the famous story of Newton and the apple. When Newton saw the apple falling down, he said, Eureka. He understand that the same power that pulled the apple down to earth is the one that helping the moon circle the earth. And there is one, gravity. But that's just one aspect. At the same time, in Germany, Goethe was hearing what Newton is doing, but he asked a different question. Not why did the apple fall down, he asked how did the apple get up there? And those are completing questions. One of Newton is just one answer. You can have it in a formula. The one that Goethe asked, wow, the whole universe, the sun, the moon, the water, the earth, everybody have to participate. The bees, you name it, in order just to apple to come up. So then the guiding question is the key to unlock transformation. So in '96, I came back to Jerusalem to take the first grade in the Waldorf Jerusalem. In the Rabin assassination, there was suicide bomb in the street, a lot of fear, anxiety, conflict. So I asked myself, as a Waldorf teacher, as a new Waldorf teacher, what is educator in times and areas of conflict? So I try to answer it in many ways. One of it, Israeli and Palestinian together. In third grade, we were working together on sowing the seed wheat till we bake the bread. In fourth grade, we went through the zoo and also through the circus, as you see here. And the or the girls who are up are the light one, those on the bottom are the strong one. No connection with the religion, background, who is strong and heavy, who is go up. And then in 6th grade, we have the Olympics. So I asked myself, okay, I know Olympics is connecting all, and everybody agree. And I knew that it is in Waldorf education. So I have to find out who can do it, because I have the vision. Through the Waldorf Peace Olympics, we can connect children from conflict areas. So with my friend Amin, he told me, let's call Jamin McMillan. We called Jamin McMillan. He just was watching on the news another suicide bomb in Israel. He said to himself, somebody have to do something. And the phone rings, and here we said, let's do Peace Olympic. He said, yes. And then he said, I will bring my friend Thom Schaefer, and that's how we started this journey. Tom, now describe it.
So from that summer of 1999, when those peace activists led by Eyal met in the Negev desert, then Jamin McMillan and I came to Greece, and we began the preparations of training people. And one layer by another layer, communities in conflict put together teams of children, of youth leaders, of community leaders, and formed a really amazing group of folks. And in 2001, we started the first AllinPeace, AllinPeace Festival with 350 people, 250 children, followed in 2003 with about 350 children. And we then set aside a basic idea that was built on a historical context. That historical context came out of Greek history. It seemed that there was a very dark time in Greece, where there were blood feuds and very little order. So the king of Elis, King Aphitos, sent a runner to the Oracle of Delphi and asking what should be done. The Pythia, the oracle, came back with turn warriors into athletes. And that became the notion, the seed for the first Olympic Games in 776 BC. But in order to have that work, they needed to also have a truce, a sacred truce that laid down all arms, that held back from aggressions, war, conflict during the time in which all the people in the Greek world would come together in Olympia to celebrate these games. This was called the sacred truce, or the ekihyria, and it became the centerpiece of education that pervades all of these activities. And through that, we were able to work and inspire youths and communities to build bridges beyond flags and countries, to create a kind of universal language of athletic movement, harmony, and artistic activity. So these seeds gave a sense of empowerment, of mutual respect and understanding, of building towards solidarity, and they were cultivated through the activities that we had in using the 5 disciplines of the pentathlon: running, jumping, wrestling, discus, javelin, of doing artistic activities such as singing, dancing, visual arts, of stressing the importance of nonviolent, effective communication, respect for cultural diversity, and a sense of unity among all of us. And this is what I think really laid the ground for what has in the ensuing time become festivals throughout the world that especially Waldorf students, but others participate in and have done so for over 40 years.
Okay, but in the essence, what is the difference? And that's of the meaning of conflict. Conflict in Hebrew is called mashber, and mashber is the stool where the woman who gave labor is sitting to give the labor for the newborn. So if you understand conflict as something that want to be born, we are just the midwife. We just have to support and we have to transform the conflict. And if you take the javelin meant to kill. It designed every sort, it's only for killing. So how we transform it? How we transform the javelin from a weapon of killing to a weapon of peace. So in order to do this, we have to change the question. It's not how far you throw it, but how beautiful. And beautiful you can throw for 2 meters very beautiful, you can throw 20 meters very ugly. So by changing the question, we are transforming. Actually, we make, in the Bible, there is the vision that they will transform the sword into plow. And that's what we are doing for a brief moment, for experience. By changing the question, we are transforming the essence, and that's the idea. Again, by changing the guiding question. So you can see here how the javelin become a tool of peace. And the same happened with how we brought the children to Olympia and Delphi. Because we didn't have money, but we didn't ask who will give us money. We asked who can give us a lift from this conflict area to Greece. And we went to the Greek army and asked them, can you bring children to be warrior of peace? And they said yes, and they sent Hercules to bring the children. So that's another transformation. And we are going much beyond the idea of just transformation of the fifth grade Waldorf curriculum. We look as we see the blind Zulu, we don't see them as disabled. Everybody experiences them as extra able. So that's the one transformation. And today we have the conflict of artificial intelligence, and we have to see, instead of seeing artificial intelligence, we have to see it how it's intelligent assistant, how it helps us to fulfill our wisdom, our values. So this is, if we understand how to ask the question, we will be on the right track of transformation, of peace education, sustainable education, and a better future. So Tom, what's happened here?
This was a transformative moment. We had children from 12 different communities such as Bethlehem and Jerusalem, Belgrade and Pristina, Maubeuge, North and South Ireland, Alexandria, Smolensk, Nicosia, and Famagusta. And here they are assembled at the Temple of Athena Proneos at Delphi, reciting in their own language the Greek oath for the Olympics. And here, using spatial dynamics, by honoring child development, all of these communities come together with a single purpose to create a peace Olympics. And from here, the games began the next day.
This was after 10 days, we are practicing the same language. Actually, the common language, what is common, is porn and violence. That's the most of the film, the most popular are based on this movement. It's an ugly movement. But we move with a special dynamic that connected this harmonious movement. And every child, they cannot speak the same verbal language, but all of them spoke the same language. And that's connected us. So the art connected us and the movement with harmony. And then if you want to transform competitiveness into self-competition and group collaboration. So imagine the big stadium of ancient Delphi. There are 250 kids in 12 groups standing in a row all around. And Thom, with a big drum in the center, the moment he signaled there is a drum, they start the relay run. So the one from Ithaca ran to Athens to give the relay. And in no time, all the 12 were run, exchange with each other till each group was in the new place. So the competition was really, can I run the fastest as possible? But I cannot defeat anybody. Yeah, the whole group moved together. So here you see, and you see the seriousness in the face of this child. He really is competitive, but not to beat somebody. His excellence.
The ancient Greek ideal of arete, excellence, that formed another seed to how is it that we allow young people to find meaning and significance in their excellence, in what they can bring and do the very best of their own. So in looking at this, we also found that there was an incredible amount of stereotyping, and we needed children to meet those stereotypes. And as we developed the principles out of all of our work, we then came to see that it was in this meeting and in this ability to overcome stereotypes that we were able to move forward into the future with a new perspective. And that took us to this next idea, which I was very involved in for about 3 years before its inception by working with Chip Romer and a group of about 12 individuals who formed a development team to create a new stereotype around Waldorf education, to break down the notion that Waldorf was something for only people who could afford it. And what we were really attempting and have completely changed is the notion of accessibility. So here in 2011, with only 40 students in Sonoma County, California, we birthed Credo High School. Credo meaning I believe. And this was a tuition-free, open enrollment Waldorf high school. And it was based on 3 pillars. The first one was Waldorf. Waldorf with all of its arts and its music and its incredible culture and sense of community. And then a sustainability model, one planet living, the whole notion that we could live within the resources of just one planet. And then a college prep idea of bringing leaders into the world. And more recently, this last November, we had a reunion and taking this incredibly innovative curriculum of sustainability. Here we have a picture of student-built electric vehicles. We also have many other innovative ways of bringing this sustainability and Waldorf curriculum alive. And we brought the first 5 graduating classes from Credo High School together. And it was amazing to see these young people who are engaged in green businesses, artistic, scientific enterprises, lots of entrepreneurial activity, and bringing a new picture of a sustainable world into existence, manifesting the ideals of what Credo has always stood for.
So if we go now, we go into the conflict of our time, apart from the conflict with nature, the human. Now we have a big conflict with intelligence. And again, question, what is the guiding question in order to do the transformation? So most people ask, how should I use AI? But we follow Goethe, we ask, how can AI support my dignity, my soul development, my wisdom? So we change the question. If we change the question and we are inspired by this blind Zulu runner, we came to the idea of extra ability. What I developed in 2000, we take these people that are graduate of the special education and we see them as leaders, we see them as innovators. Now we see them as educators. So since 2015, 16, we are training them to become assistant kindergarten teacher and educator. And they are, the moment we experience in the study, every child on basis to experience in the kindergarten. So this assistant kindergarten teacher, they are trained as professional, they are hired by the municipality as educators, and now with AI, we ask, how can we help them to be even better professional? So we created Dignity Digital platform, where first, when they onboard in the platform, say, who am I? What type of educator? What's my aspiration? What's my ambition? And then we have a follow-up with the IA to assist them. Every day, what was meaningful to you, why it was meaningful, how you do child observation in good eye. So we are taking the AI to make them a better educator. And when we see the AI as something that is, and digital technology that's separating, isolating, they are connecting. So we are connecting the AI with a mentor and this person with extra ability. And just one person with disability that work in a kindergarten impact 100 people, 30 of the kids and staff and family member, it's 100 on a daily basis. The experience that you have done for a few minutes in Delphi to become a daily routine in dozens of kindergarten in Israel. So here we spoke about the conflict of human and AI, and we transform it as we show you. It's just a glimpse. And now, if we go back to Waldorf education, we go back to Steiner. So it was ending the knowledge of man, 14th lecture, and he said the last verse was that through imagination, courage, and responsibility, we can transform education. Those are the three guiding principles for any educator. So now, how can you, each of the listener, can take these words and start in your own area, in your own community, start and have the courage, take responsibility, and through imagination, understand what is the guiding question that will lead the transformation. So this is the direction, and here we tied everything together, and I let Thom close it and guide us forward.
So once again, we're looking at how to take the emerging future and transform it through our imagination, our courage, our sense of responsibility. These things that Steiner has given us at the very beginning of Waldorf, and now in the next 100 years, the second 100 years of Waldorf education, we need to not be observers, not be spectators. We need to be co-creators in a transformation of education, of culture, of what we see as our legacy, how we can enliven everything that we do through these basic principles of Waldorf education.
So thank you very much, and we'll be more happy to hear from you. You may contact us through our email and share what is your guiding question and how you will do your own transformation in your own society, community. And we hope we inspire you to take action and responsibility.
Sponsored by the Program for the Evolution of Spirituality.
Copyright 2023, the Preston Fellows of Harvard College.